Imagine opening your door one day and finding trash piled up to your knees. Aluminum cans, plastic wrappers, and scraps of paper scattered everywhere. Sounds far-fetched? The truth is, we generate over 2 billion tons of waste every year, and aluminum cans, the ones you hold every day, make up a significant part of that. Did you know that just last year, the world produced 180 billion aluminum cans? That's enough to build a tower 10 times taller than Everest. This creates an enormous demand for the recycling industry. So how do we save millions of cans from a tragic fate? The answer lies in massive recycling plants, where millions of cans get a second life every day. Today, I'll take you through that journey, from chaotic piles of waste to shiny aluminum ingots, and show you why this is one of the ways we're fighting the ever-growing mountain of trash. Sounds exciting? Let's dive in. The journey starts with you. Yes, from the very moment you toss that can into the recycling bin. But have you ever really noticed the recycling bin near your house? Next time, try dropping a can in. It's the start of an incredible adventure. Globally, around 75 to 80% of aluminum cans are collected, far more than plastic or glass. In Germany, they even pay a few cents for every can you bring in. Small but mighty. Once collected, the cans are sent to a pre-processing facility where they pour out like a silver flood. But it's not just aluminum in the mix. Sometimes there are steel cans, plastic, or even banana peels. This is where smart machines take the stage. Optical sorters work like superhuman eyes, firing light at each can and identifying aluminum based on how it reflects. Since aluminum shines brighter than steel or plastic, the machine detects it instantly. In just a few seconds, hundreds of cans are sorted with 99% accuracy. At a major facility like this, up to 50,000 cans can be processed per hour. That's 1.2 million cans a day. Now here comes the thrilling part. The scattered cans are fed into a massive compactor, so powerful it could crush a car. With a thunderous boom, thousands of cans are flattened in an instant, compressed into dense cubes weighing hundreds of kilograms. Why do this? Because loose cans take up a massive amount of space. A truck filled with uncompressed cans can only carry a few thousand. But once compacted into blocks, it can hold hundreds of thousands, saving up to 70% in space and transportation costs. These aluminum blocks look like rough, metallic bricks waiting to be melted down. At the factory, automated conveyor belts replace trucks to reduce emissions and dust. Watching them in motion, you can see an entire story unfold, a testament to human ingenuity and efficiency. This is the climax of the story, and it begins with a thunderous spectacle. Before entering the furnace, those gleaming aluminum blocks aren't just tossed straight into the fire. First, they must pass through a giant shredder. With a roaring clatter, thousands of cans are torn into tiny fragments, like a silver snowstorm cascading down. After shredding, the aluminum fragments are tossed into a blazing furnace heated to 800 degrees Celsius, hotter than volcanic lava. Can you guess how long it takes for the aluminum to melt? Just 5 minutes, faster than brewing a cup of tea. At this temperature, the aluminum softens and then liquefies into a shimmering silver stream, glowing like a river of falling stars in the dimly lit factory. But why is there slag? When aluminum melts, anything that isn't pure metal, like leftover paint, plastic coatings, or natural aluminum oxides, doesn't dissolve. Instead, these impurities rise to the surface, forming a layer of slag. Workers or machines skim it off, leaving behind pure molten aluminum. A large factory can melt 100 tons of aluminum a day, enough to make millions of new cans. The molten aluminum is poured into large molds, gradually cooling over several hours to form solid ingots or sheets. These uniform aluminum billets, each weighing tens of tons, are made from millions of recycled cans. Recycling just 1 ton of aluminum saves enough electricity to power a home for 3 years and reduces 9 tons of CO2 emissions. The same impact as planting 150 trees. From aluminum ingots, the production line transforms them into brand new cans in just a few hours. The Coca-Cola can you're drinking today could contain up to 70% recycled aluminum from this very plant. A recycled can makes its way back to supermarket shelves in just 60 days, faster than growing a head of lettuce. And just like that, we've completed a remarkable journey from discarded aluminum cans buried in heaps of trash, through colossal machines, shimmering molten metal, and finally back into brand new cans ready to return to life. But this story isn't just about machines or technology. It's about a perfect cycle, a way to transform something seemingly worthless into something valuable, not just once, but forever. Every day, millions of cans are reborn in factories like this. But the real magic? It all starts with one simple action. It takes just 1 second to drop it in the recycling bin. And with that, you help save energy, reduce pollution, and keep the air a little cleaner. When you look at these recycling plants, you'll see more than just factories. They are symbols of hope, proof that we can correct our mistakes and build a more sustainable planet. The roar of the shredders, the flow of molten aluminum, the birth of gleaming ingots, it all plays like a symphony of renewal. And the best part? You are part of this symphony. Every time you choose to recycle, you're adding a note to a greater melody, one that echoes across the world. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you found this story worth sharing, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And next time you hold a can in your hand, remember, it's not just trash, but a chance to make a difference. See you in the next adventure.